Hey everybody, welcome to the Thursday live stream. We got a lot of things to cover, so let's just jump right in. So today what I want to talk about is the axis of evil, which I think is quite ridiculous to call it that. But if you're the US government, it's going to make a lot of sense. And we already know that CZ Binance has actually come through and he has done a nice little plea deal and going to be serving 4 months in prison. But if you're living under a rock and haven't known this, we're going to be talking about Binance, Roger Ver, used to be called Bitcoin Jesus, did a little thing called Bitcoin Cash, and also Jack Dorsey from Square and previously Twitter fame. This is what we got with CZ Binance. He looks like he will be serving a prison sentence. And the sentence guidelines call for a prison term of 12 to 18 months. The Department of Justice actually wanted 3 years, and that did not happen. He's going to be 4 months. I'm not for sure if this is going to be in house arrest or an actual federal prison. Not for sure, but hey, he's got 4 months. And I think any one of us would do that if we could walk out with a couple $1 billion. And this is what Zhao said. He goes, I believe the first step of taking responsibility is to fully recognize the mistakes. And this is what we were talking about this day on NFA Live. It was me, Jessica from Coin Bureau, and Ben from the Cryptoverse. And I said, you know, we really do owe a lot to CZ Binance and what he actually did for the entire state of the crypto market. I don't think we'd be exactly where we are right now. And I also have to give him a shout out for not bailing out FTX and pretty much saying that, hey, this is essentially a Ponzi going on. We're not going to get involved. Now, some people say, well, he did that to actually get ahead with Binance and actually collapse FTX. I don't really mind that too much because that's exactly what was going on. He only would have propped it up if he would have said, yeah, I'll buy you out, until it all imploded. And then, of course, I think we've been in a much worse state. So again, I'm happy this actually happened. Unfortunately, he has to serve prison, but I mean, I guess he's the only banker that can do that. He says, here I failed to implement an adequate anti-money laundering program. I realize now the seriousness of that mistake. Well, we're going to see about this. There's some other ones that actually made the same mistake. CZ struck a deal with the U.S. government to resolve a multi-year investigation, world's largest crypto exchange. As part of the settlement, Sal stepped down as CEO of Binance. He was also ordered to pay $4.3 billion in fines, and he also paid a $50 million fine for himself. So that's just the first part. Is the DOJ, the government is trying to crack down. I call it Operation Choke Point 2.0, maybe 2.5. So we have that one, and then all of a sudden, Roger Ver comes out of nowhere and also gets sued. Apparently, the U.S. government really does like taxes. So it's a funny thing because Roger Ver, nice guy, he's been on the channel once. Did a little Bitcoin Cash, no problem with that. But it's interesting about this one because he renounced his U.S. citizenship in 2014 to become a citizen of St. Kitts in the West Indies. And according to the DOJ, he's charged with tax evasion after allegedly selling a stash of Bitcoin owned by the U.S.-based companies, memory dealers, and AgileStar in 2017. So again, even if you give up your citizenship, that doesn't give you free and clear for the corporation that you set up if you bought crypto underneath that. I think that's, for most of us, is not going to be a factor, but that's one of the things that the DOJ is actually saying. And the last thing is, and I think this is the most serious one, is he concealed these sales from his accountant, according to prosecutors, and failed to pay $48 million in taxes, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say this. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know exactly what it is. That's for the job of the prosecutor is to bring forth charges, and it's for the defense to come in and say, no, that's actually not what happened. This is what happened. Pop, 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 pop. So again, it's interesting that the U.S. government is going all the way and reaching out for that $50 million. Look, they want that money. We're in massive debt here, $43 trillion or so, $34 trillion. And that'll lead me to our last report, which this just came out today, I believe. Unfortunately, Jack Dorsey. Now, Jack, not only for Twitter, but also for Square. And apparently this is going to go a little bit deeper. So U.S. prosecutors are reportedly investigating the fintech firm after a whistleblower claimed to process thousands of transactions for users from sanctioned countries and terrorist groups. This is going to be an ongoing theme. Any kind of money transmitter, or any type of organization that has to deal with funds, they're going to look at it. And if they do anything with crypto digital assets, they're going to be looked at even harder. And the reason is, I personally believe, is that the U.S. government knows that they really can't beat crypto and digital assets. It's going to flourish the decentralized nature makes it just that way. And we take a look at the next story, we're going to take a look at just how they can try to control this in a little bit. And again, I will say, lastly, before we get on the story, is that remember that Al Capone wasn't taken down for racketeering. He wasn't taken down for massively illegal schemes that he ran through. It was tax evasion. And if the US government can't get you one way, it will get you another way. So here's what's going on with Jack Dorsey. So the Square and Cash app processed thousands of transactions for users in countries subject to economic sanctions, as well as crypto transactions for terrorist groups. This was actually reported by NBC News. 100 pages of documents were provided to NBC, which reported many transactions were in small dollar amounts involving entities in countries subject to the US sanctions: Iran, Russia, Cuba, Venezuela. This whistleblower said that most of the transactions discussed with prosecutors involved credit card, fiat, and Bitcoin transactions were not reported to the government. And that's the big thing right there. If you have transactions and you report to the government and you didn't report those to the government, they're going to come after you, obviously. Now, the big question is, again, the prosecutor's job is to bring charges against an individual or an entity. And it's up for the defense to say, no, that's not true. This has happened, this. So take this with a grain of salt. We'll see how it all plays out. Who knows? And then the whistleblower said, from the ground up, everything in the compliance section was flawed. It is led by people who should not be in charge of a regulated compliance program. I'm not going to speculate on where this whistleblower came from, but that's exactly what we have. So we'll see how this all plays out. So again, Jack Dorsey, Roger Ver, now CZ Binance. And lastly, your wallet. Your wallet is under attack. And why is it? Money transmitter. This is a report from CryptoSlate. Senator Lummis from Wyoming, deeply concerned by Biden administration's actions against DeFi and non-custodial wallets. A custodial wallet would be something like, it's like Coinbase or some type of centralized exchange. But your non-custodial wallet, something that you may have as far as like with MetaMask, because you control the keys, or with Ledger, or my personal favorite, Tangent, the US government does not like that. And it's looking like the verbiage in these laws, they're trying to take away, or at some point will potentially want to take away, your non-custodial wallets. Lummis criticized the DOJ latest legal interpretations, which argue that non-custodial software platforms like wallets might be regulated as money transmission services, which is what they're going after Jack Dorsey for what he did with Square and Twitter and everything else. So this is what she says. I'm deeply concerned. Here's the exact statement from Senator Lummis. I'm deeply troubled by the Department of Justice hyper-aggressive argument that non-custodial service or software can constitute a money transmission service. This stance contradicts existing Treasury guidance, common sense, rule of law. Arguments against self-custody software, threatening the fundamental property rights that are core to being an American. I will do everything I can to fight for your rights, hold your key, and run your own note. Hats off to you, Senator Lummis. I hope this actually works out. But I got to tell you, will this totally collapse crypto? No, not per se. But it will make things a lot harder in America. And again, America is not the epicenter of everything, but it really would be nice to be able to do some things as an American citizen, because it feels like I am in not America. This isn't the America that I actually grew up in. It just seems like rule of law just is whatever the government wants to be. It just makes things a little bit difficult, we'll say. Anyhow, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. So that's the bad news. And I like to balance things out. Not everything is bad. We just have to take a look at the flip side of the coin. By that, I mean MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has a conference going on right now. And they're taking a look and they're helping out corporations for what they want to do. And they can actually learn from MicroStrategy. And this was, I think, the most interesting thing that came out so far. There's other things that have come out. You can follow MicroStrategy on X, and you can stream the service. But they want to do a Bitcoin-based decentralized ID solution. And why this is interesting is because Bitcoin maxis hate ordinals and runes because they say it's a worthless technology and it bogs down the space that is Bitcoin. But that's not true, because you can do digital IDs. Here's what I mean. So MicroStrategy announced it will launch a DID, or decentralized identity solution, on the Bitcoin network that uses ordinal-based inscriptions to store and retrieve information. That's funny. I didn't think they liked that. but now they like that. That's just how it is. MicroStrategy Orange is open source, not dependent on sidechains that can process up to 10,000 identifiers in a single Bitcoin transaction. It's pretty good. I'll take that. The aim is to deliver trustless, tamper-proof, and long-lived decentralized IDs using only the public Bitcoin blockchain as a data source. One application already built by MicroStrategy is Orange for Outlook. It integrates digital signatures and emails to ensure recipients can verify the true identity of the sender. This is what it looks like. Let me bring this up. So if you're going to sign or verify, you compose an email, hash the email content, sign email with the sender's private key, and email will be sent with a DID. And to verify that, people that actually get it can actually take a look and say, wait, is this actually from you? Retrieve the sender's DID, signature from email header, and use a digital ID to locate the sender's public key in the blockchain, verify the signature. Why this is big is because personally, this is actually what happened to me. If you go to my X account, @newsasset, the thing that I have pinned there is from November 20th, 2021. I want you to listen to this because this is, as far as like spoofing IDs, that goes away. And as far as like a digital ID, that could actually help a lot with the AI generated nonsense that is going on right now for videos. So take a listen to this. This was, me a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. And I'm going to show you what can actually happen when you don't have a digital ID and you can get spoofed by email. So take a listen, 50 seconds.
Before we do that, you might notice that there's this little slide going on where it says scam alert, Dan will never contact you. Look, I've been getting a lot of different messages that there's somebody in, who knows, Telegram or some other different places where they just keep talking about how, you reached out to us and we paid you a bunch of money. Now where's our promotion video or whatever else? And I don't do that. I don't reach out to you. So when I say I'm going to keep this up for as long as I possibly can, where I talk about I will never contact you, I will never contact you, period, for any type of promotion. I get 30 offers a day. I don't need to contact you for anything that I want to do. It's hard to make it like that, but it has to be harsh. Never believe that I contact you because I won't.
Jeez, Rob, I think you're a little hard on the beaver there. But yeah, so like when you take a look at that, what happened was people would say, hey, I gave somebody $10,000 to do a video. Where's my video? Like, they didn't take that. Like, yeah, here's the email. And it looks like the email. And actually, you can verify it. There's a link in the description for all my videos where you can actually verify the Google email just by going through a Google resource. And they're like, oh, sorry, that wasn't you. I guess, how do I get our money back? I'm like, I can't help you, pal. I'm sorry. So like with something like this with a digital ID that MicroStrategy wants to roll out, hey, so much the better. That'd actually be pretty big for everybody. And then I'm glad about that. So that's part of the good news. And the next two pieces I want to talk to you about is chain abstraction or multi-chain. I think that is the future. First of all, Solana is going to launch this Bitcoin cross-chain bridge Q3 of 2024. And just real quick, Solana to Bitcoin cross-chain bridge Zeus Network will launch its Zeus program that connects two ecosystems by Q3. Zeus Network facilitates activities like DeFi, GameFi, Social Pin, DPIN, which were previously challenging on the Bitcoin blockchain. That's true. So we'll see if it works out. I think that layer 2 is going to do that, but sure. With a market cap of approximately 1.2 trillion and over 11,000 runes, generating 135 million fees with the first week on the Bitcoin blockchain, the potential for value transfer is immense. I like where this is going. So there is that part as far as multi-chain, bridging over, all that great stuff from Solana to Bitcoin. Also, this was a video that's out from CryptoCito. It looks like Osmosis might be being cross-chain and being a layer 2 for Bitcoin. I linked that video in the description. You can check that out. If that is true, it would be a massive. And then also, lastly, I just got this from Ada Ape, who is now Dr. Ada Ape. Wow. Congratulations, Doc. And this was from a Spaces from World Mobile Token. World Mobile Token, again, is a DPIN project, which I've been involved with over 2 years now, essentially bringing telecommunications to where there is none. And then, of course, in underprivileged and undesirable areas, even in the United States. And just listen to this. This is about 30 seconds or so. They just made a huge announcement. I think it's pretty important to take a listen. Let me share my screen so you can actually hear this. When I say multi-chain, I mean multi-chain. Take a listen.
Of course, we're working with Cardano, and we will use their partner chains framework to do that connection. But we are also going to have as other trusted chains Ethereum, Arbitrum, Base, Optimism, Binance Smart Chain, the Near Protocol, Conflux, and CK Sync, among others. Those are just the list of the chains that we have explored.
Great. So that's it. World Mobile Token, a link in the description. But again, it's about telecommunications and bridging everybody together. What was just said there is that, first of all, World Mobile was launched on Cardano. Then they created their own settlement layer, Aya. Actually, it's the layer 1 solution, I should say. And now they're going to be partnering up with these different chains. And you just heard that Near, Ethereum, Optimism, whole host of other ones, Binance Smart Chain. So again, when I say that I think that the next evolution will be multi-chain, that's where I think it will go. But that's it for today. So look, like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, if you want to stick around, we'll do a little Q&A and I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. But if you got to take off, take off. Thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate you. See you on the next one. Everybody, what are your questions now? Hey, Naz is here. Hey, man, how's the market? Hopefully it's good. The future is multi-chain. Naz, everybody likes Naz. 80% of chances wrenches. Definitely a bear market. Probably so. That's okay. I'd rather hang out with you guys than a bunch of tourists. I'm fine right here. See, look, everybody's here. Me. So she's very funny. That's a good one. So when I switch to Monero, I own some a little Monero, but I don't know. Depends. Very difficult. Very difficult when you get delisted from all the top exchanges. It does happen. Not all of them, but there's been a lot of delistings. I love ordinals and runestones. Me too. I got a couple. I got a couple runestones, which are the NFTs, which are ordinals, and also dog goes to the moon runes. Because I got them airdrop. That's why. Latouche says, a judge already ruled self-custody was not the same as a broker. It's a start in the right direction, more clickbait than anything at this point. Yeah. Well, Lummis seems to think that there's some, and even if you have one judge, that's what's great about the legal system. Not just one judge. Of course, they can go back and say, no. We want it to go to the appeals court. No, we want to go to this all the way to the Supreme Court. These are what the things are going to, again, not a lawyer, but see how it plays out. Pay your taxes, sure. Those damn whistleblowers. The more restrictions, the better. Update your browser. I get some time off. I have a lot of time off. What am I saying? It's not like I go to work or anything. Mr. 100 bought 4,100 Bitcoin today. Someone's accumulating. You can. Like, look, but here's the thing about that Mr. 100. If you're able to buy 4,100 Bitcoin, probably not struggling in life. You know, you're probably like, just throw that there. It's not like somebody's Mr. 100 is selling his everything to live homeless just so he can afford Bitcoin. Probably doing pretty good. Probably invest in other things. But hey, congratulations to Mr. 100. Probably going to make out like a bandit later. Misha says, ETH is a security. I was saying this 2019. Will Trump re-election reverse this? No, probably not. Although it is funny because he did do a card series, an NFT collection on Ethereum, so he knows it actually has value. But Trump has already said that he believes in the dollar more than anything else, which I got to tell you would actually go more against Bitcoin than Ethereum, especially with what he saw with Ethereum. Just saying. But yeah, it's the Gary Gensler on the SEC for a year now has said in different messages around to each other that they believe that Ethereum is indeed a security, and they're moving in that direction. So, yeah. How much longer for Rosin the pool? Depending on when Bitcoin hits 100K. Yeah, but it's for Marky. Rob, what do you think about Sharpie? You know what I'm going to say about this, Marky. It's probably going to do well in the bull market. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't own it, but it'll probably do great because a lot of things do great in the bull. That's it. Yeah, that's right. Jason's absolutely correct. Be patient. Keep one in the market. We bought on the bear. Will come. Jasmine and guac all the way. I own some guac. Not Jasmine. Not because I don't like it, just I never got into it. Any thoughts on stacks? Had a heck of a bad day today, but that doesn't mean too much. I like it as a layer 2 solution. I bought it a long time ago. One of my best performances in my cold storage device called Tangent. But yeah, I like it. Been around for quite some time. Layer 2 solution, smart contracts, looks good. Don't know. Tuker. Tuker's another one we just talked about. If you don't follow Tucker Carlson, it's a very funny show. And it's also a Solana meme coin, so probably do well. Hey, Rob, did you watch Charles Hosking video on Ouroboros, Laos, and if so, thoughts? I haven't watched it. I'll check it out after this. Again, Cardano is one of those projects that's been kind of a laggard, but usually it catches up. So we'll see how well it does. Remember, last cycle it did hit $3. Let's see if we can do that again. Fantastic. Great show. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. I try to say hello. Wrenches can't hear us sometimes. We can all hear you. Red Panda Pie's here. Did I miss the self-custody topic? Yeah, Mike, you did. Essentially what it is Lummis is, and this was just today. When was this? What's the date today? This was yesterday. This was her tweet. Let me show you. Deeply troubled by the DOJ's Department of Justice hyper-aggressive argument that non-custodial software can constitute a money transmission service. Non-custodial software, meaning your wallets. And she's just concerned. And she's going to fight against it. So we'll see. I guess there was some judge that may have ruled against it, but the DOJ, just like Gary, once they lose, they don't really care. They keep coming at you. That's unfortunately the power of the U.S. government. I hate to say it. And they've got unlimited resources. They just do. So like, if you get sued, who pays for that? You pay for that. If the government gets sued or they want to sue somebody, who pays for that? You pay for that. That's how it is. So even if the government loses, they still win. It was no skin off their back. That's what's funny about the government actually suing the centralized exchanges and the money transmitters and the custodial services. It's like, that's what I want to have happen. You're suing that. Yes, we are suing that. Could you also pay your taxes so we can actually fund that? It's crazy, but here we are. Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm old, so I remember that stuff. Let's see. Unlimited magical resources. Ian's got a good point. It's the fact the U.S. is finally getting with the program, so they're cracking down finally because they're finally aware. Yeah, you know, it's like that whole thing. First they ignore you, then they make fun of you, then they fight you, and then hopefully you win. Nah, that's it. Well, anyhow, that was a good one. No questions so far, so I think I've done my job as much as I possibly can. Everybody, check out that video from cryptocurrencies. Also, Coin Bureau clips. We did the NFA live show. Pretty good one today. Talked about a lot of things we talked about actually right now. That's it for today. So look, like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got to get out of here. Thanks so much, everybody. See you on the next one. Adios.